Alright, what's up, creepers? Hey, geekers, Chris the Atari Creep. Retro Creep. No, Atari Creep's dead. I killed him. He no longer exists under any umbrella. What's up, everybody? See, even I still have trouble with it. I don't even know if you're hearing that. It says that you are, but I have the webcam up. Let me turn this down a little bit. I'm fucking peeking here. Get the webcam set up to go over what we're going to be going over today. Not necessarily going to actually build anything, but more so, I guess, go through the process with you, and maybe some of you guys can throw some ideas out at me. It'll help me out, but we'll get to that all in a minute. If you haven't already yet this year, donate to the Alzheimer's Association. My goal this year is $2,500. Well, we better get pretty damn fucking close. What is going on? Oh, I pulled the jack out. Trying to come up with some pretty cool prizes for this year. What we typically do every year, with the exception, of course, of last year because of health reasons and, whatever, is throughout the year before the walk, which is usually in September or October. I can't remember. I haven't even looked to see what this year's was, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be in October. Is throughout the season, during lives, I'll throw out like a goal. And then there'll be a giveaway for it. You'll have like a week to donate X amount for whatever. Hey, Off Grid, what's going on, buddy? I got to put my glasses on right away. Visiting my mom in Phoenix. Just popping in to say hi. Do me a favor. I want you to go to Glendale, on Glendale Ave. Hopefully it's still there. Dazzo's Dogs. It's a cash-only joint, though. Go get a Italian sausage and beef combo with both sweet and hot peppers, extra wet. Eat that for me and then tell me how it was the next time I see you. I miss Dazzo's. I actually had a sandwich shop in Glendale at 59th and Bell. It was called Boom and Sweet Home Chicago. I kind of got into it by accident. But yeah, Dazzo's Dogs. One of the last surviving... I don't know what you call them, the Lollipop Guild, lived right around the corner from there. I mean, she's been long passed away, but there's like a picture of her signed. It's my understanding she was the very last surviving little person that was in The Wizard of Oz. Lived right down the street from Dazzo's Dogs. Really good. It's Chicago hot dogs, Italian beef, that kind of thing. Sliders. Good stuff. But I hope you're having a great visit with your mom. Hey, Retro Creep, what's up? What's up, Inferno? Thanks for popping in. Greetings, everybody. Violation, what's up, my friend? Everyone's saying hi to each other. That's awesome. I love the camaraderie and the fellowship. It's all about the fellowship. I grew up with a lot of fellowship, though I fucking hate being in public with people. I'll look it up. Yeah, you should. Dazzo's Dogs. I don't know if they're still around anymore, but Megan, what's going on? Wow, we got a nice little crowd forming here today. I'm over in Sun City in Peoria. Okay, it's not too far from Glendale. I wouldn't say, right? Just a little over, a little hook over and up, I believe. But I can't remember what the crossroads were for the Dazzo's. But if you know where the there's one of those giant outdoor stores. What is it called? Not the Bass Pro Shop, but the other one, the other great big fucking one with the firearms and the boats and the fucking fishing and all that crap. There's one of those in the neighborhood somewhere, I believe. And the stadium isn't too far from there either, I don't think. Dazzo's Dogs. In fact, I'm looking that up right now. so I don't send you on a wild goose chase. Dazzo's Dogs, Glendale, Arizona. Long-standing family owned. Yeah, really nice guy. Really nice guy, by the way. Let's see. Does it say it's even open? Open. Closes at 8 o'clock. Fuck yeah. I'm so glad that they're still going. Italian beef and sausage combo with the hot and sweet peppers. Extra wet. You gotta get it. You gotta get it. My Bruce Tree Kung Fu beat your Bruce Tree Kung Fu. I don't know, man. Bruce Tree is fucking surviving. He's out on the porch. He's been out on the porch with a little baggy thing over him for two reasons. One, it just seems better for him to be out there and the intermittent sun and all that crap. It's keeping the ICU tent moist inside. I know a lot of people love that word. And it just seems to be working out perfect. Plus, me and my stepdaughter were having fucking allergies to the damn thing. So it was right here. He was right here, right next to the fucking windows, right? You know? But Bruce Tree is doing really well, man. I don't know. How about we find someone that has a Chuck Norris tree or a tree Chuck Norris? I can't really weave that in there, man. But Bart, tell Kelly I said hi as well. Yes, Bart. And have Kelly get some good Dazzo's food too. I'm going to assume that's your missus, your lady. How do you spell it? I don't know. Dazzos, I believe. Yep, Dazzo''S. Dazzo's Dogs. It's a Chicago hot dog place, basically. They all kind of follow the formula of a company called Portillo's. If you're familiar with them at all, it's a Chicago chain. One of the premier chain hot dog joints. Oh, I'm over here wondering why the cord is stuck to me. I got a fucking guitar in my hand. I got a guitar in my hand. And I'm going to play a chord. I'm going to play an A chord. I want to know if you guys can hear it. And I'll tell you why in a second. There we go. I played it twice. I want to hear yes, we heard that, or no, I did not. I'll be smoking my Bruce Tree later, yeah. Yeah, that's actually not a bad idea. I just made, you would have thought I had some Bruce Tree. I made a grilled cheese, basically, with pepperonis in it, and then I fried up an egg really hot and threw it in there. It's not good for, up here and all that crap. God damn it, my, sorry. I got a couple of Facebook tabs open. And I got people messaging me left and right on there. I just got rid of them because they're violation. Puff, puff, give. Absolutely. Yeah, I heard it. Good. The reason I say that is because I have a webcam up. We're going to be looking down on a few things here in a minute. Now that I got a bunch of people, I can explain exactly what we're doing today. For anyone who's fairly new to my channel, one of the big parts of my channel used to be this thing called Milieu Macabre. That's what I call my art. I do a lot of custom toys, props, model kits. I paint, I sculpt. Right now, I'm in the middle of doing this. My silicone should be here today. It was supposed to be here yesterday. That was going to be today's stream. Doing the last coat of silicone on this one hide that I need to get at least 5 or 10 made. I got plenty of the plastic. Smooth on Smooth Cast 300. Shit's awesome. 10 minutes. You can literally watch it go from transparent or clear to white. It blooms. It's so wonderful. And we've done that here live a few times if you want to go back and check out my Milieu Macabre playlist. But that's what I call my studio, my art. But we were gonna do this today, but a gentleman reached out. Actually, technically I reached out to them, but they've been hinting. I think. No, I doubt they've been hinting, but there's a cat I met through TikTok, who's been very creative lately, making props and stuff. Like more sci-fi, fun, think Mystery Science Theater 3000 kind of characters, right? Stuff like that. And I was like, well, are you guys going to have some kind of like a communication thing or whatever? He goes, well, I'm going to have, oh, you know what? Hold on. Let me pull up some stuff here. I actually have pictures. that he had kind of generated. Here we go. Let me pull one up and I'll tell the computer that you need to look at it too here in a second. But he says, yeah, I could use a prop like that. And so I volunteered to do it for him. And that's what we're mainly going to be talking about. We're going to be talking about that. No, I don't want that. I want... What? Okay, that's what I want. That's what I want. Let me move the thing. So I said, well, if you have any ideas for me to riff off of, you know, throw them my way. I may not go exactly that direction, but you know, at least it'll give me an idea what your world's aesthetic is. It's not going to be anything crazy. It's just an independent guy making, you know, a little sci-fi picture by himself, probably with his cell phone and a cheap little, little editor or whatever. Like I use the KineMaster, which I refuse to pay for right now. Sometimes the logo goes away, sometimes it doesn't. So let me just make sure you can see what I'm looking at. All right, very good. So these are, I guess, I'm assuming either Gemini or ChatGPT kind of a situation. Described an object, and they came up with a couple of ideas here. I really liked this idea. I had one of those little Mattel basketball games I almost cut apart for this. Not officially vintage, you know, more modern. The re-releases, if you will. But I really like this idea. And you can find a lot of those toys that have like a spinning LED feature to it. And you put that in there and just make one of these things like just a fucking hideaway switch or something. A couple blinking lights up here. You know, nothing crazy. You know, and this is what's great about when you're building props, is finding a way to get something to stick into another thing somehow takes even the cheapest looking object and elevating it to that next level, you know. Bam. Okay, off grid. Hopefully I said bye-bye in time. Bye-bye. All right, I'll be smoking Bruce Tree. Violation showing me some broccoli. Chopping broccoli. The guitar got to run. All right, he's hanging out with his mumsy. Much respect for the mum's visit. Absolutely. I wish I'd visited mine a lot more, but we had a complicated past, if you will. But I was there the moment she left the planet. So I kind of feel a little solace in that. Everyone's saying bye to Bot. There are movies I would never see that hadn't been for, yeah, no shit, right? For Mystery Science Theater. They're actually trying to come back to do, like, I think 8 episodes. There's a Kickstarter, I think, that just started to get, like, 6 or 8 episodes in the can and ready for view online. I hope they do it. I hope they do it. Fantastic show. I'm sure it's not going to have the same flair or vibe. You know, I mean, that was a different time. You know, when people look at nostalgic properties, like Star Wars is, of course, one of the biggest ones, people don't realize that it's more than just a movie. It's more than just the characters. It's more than just a story. It's the entire vibe of what was going on in your world at the time that you experienced that. And like the prequels for Star Wars. A lot of people hate them. I don't hate them. I don't think they're very good movies. But I respect what George was doing. And I'll be honest with you, they're a guilty pleasure. I can watch them. More times than not in the background while I'm working on something. But Revenge of the Sith, I can watch that all day long. That's a fucking great movie. Just ignore the cheesy shit and just go with the, you know, the thick and meat and potatoes of the whole thing. But long story short. We're working on a sci-fi, bro. But Mystery Science Theater 3000, I hope they get the episodes out there. I really do. And I hope people don't expect too much. You got to go into these things with man's expectations. I'm noticing there's a lot of like buttons like this on a few of these. Did we already do that first one that's on the thumbnail? No. This one is kind of, it's whatever. This was a neat idea. This looked like it was an It could have been like a found object, which is basically what we're going to be doing. This is cute. You know what this reminds me of? It reminds me of a very shrunken down version of a Pong unit that Radio Shack used to sell. You could either buy the one or the two-piece one. They had those big green dials, and they were just ugly puke cream color. I forget what they called their TV tennis, probably. Something fucking generic like that. But this is the one for the thumbnail, again with the buttons. And I noticed this one, I know it's probably just like grime and shit because it's a computer key. An old school computer key. But you're going to see that I have parts that kind of resembles a little bit of everything that we got going on here. And that's mainly what we're going to be doing today. We're going to be looking at the base of what I'm going to be working with. I'm going to show you some lighting effects and how I'm going to get those dirt cheap. I literally spent $3 plus a little bit more for $3.19 for all the lights I'm going to need for this prop. And I got 1, 2, 3, 4 little containers full of just random pieces from broken down microwaves that I've taken apart. I recently just took apart a printer. In fact, I should bring that box over here. I bet you that has a lot of cool shit. I got a little cookie tin full of parts, plus the parts from this thing, and just like model kit parts. And it's a sickness. I guarantee you, any one of my jackets out in the hallway, every one of them has at least one piece of plastic or metal I picked up off the ground while being outside, because it was an interesting looking object that could be used for something like this. Now, a lot of people more professionally call this kit bashing. I'm just going to call it making a prop, model making, and all that good shit. Salty Abrasive Person. What's going on, buddy? Speaking of retro, are you a fan of Game N? I've never got to use one of those. You're talking about the little cell phone fucking thing? There was this one chick that I was trying to hook up with. And it almost happened, too. But she ended up dating this girl that worked with us. And then she was like, yeah, I'm sorry. I'm going to swing this way this time around. I'm like, all right, whatever. But she had one. Would never let me try it. Hey, what's going on, aged youth? I know who you are. I wish fucking YouTube would get rid of this app bullshit. What's going on, Stacy? How you doing, buddy? Violation says it's also about the greeblies. Yeah, and that's literally what these are, greeblies. Or in some cases, people call them greebles. If you want to be extra, you call them greebles. I use those two words interchangeably. Greeblies to me sounds more verbish, and greeble sounds more nounish, but it's a made-up word by ILM when they were making a little movie that I'm sure you've seen it. Came out in the late 70s. It had like spaceships and lasers and wizards and shit. I can't think of the name of it right now, but when they were making props for that, they came up with the term greeblies and kit bashing. And ironically, a young creep was doing all of those things before he even knew an ILM even fucking existed. So there's this little pocket of us creative people, because a lot of times if the toy didn't exist or we didn't have the money for it, I just made it, you know? I would just fucking make it. Guys, you should see the toys I make. They're fucking wonderful. I don't have any around me right now. But I love my toys. And if they give other people a little bit of happiness, that's the whole goal, man. And if you buy anything, that's better. Have you guys ever seen my servo skull? I sold him this past weekend. He's normally like right there, about 5 feet away from me, staring at me. And like every day I come out here and I get sad because it's like I just lost a dog. I'm expecting to come out and see this fucking happy face and his wagging little tail. If I would have known that it wouldn't be here anymore. Well, I made money. Actually, this was pretty neat because it looks like it was coming off of some kind of a portable cassette player. I'm not saying Walkman because that was a brand. You know, some people call all bandages Band-Aids and all diapers Pampers, you know. But this is a really neat design. And you know what? A whole lot of different... This is actually, you know what? Honestly, I may go with this color scheme knowing this individual. I don't want to give away too much because I don't know how much they want out there. I mean, again, this isn't for any big Hollywood production. Nobody fucking probably knows this guy except for a few handful of us. I know there's one kid named James that comes in here once in a while. He definitely knows him. In fact, I know this guy through him. But he's a really nice guy. He's a really nice guy, and he's really committed to the whole posting on TikTok. There's sometimes I'm scrolling, and it's all fucking him, and I get so mad, and I say, I'm fucking unfollowing this kid. And then I remember he's a nice guy. He's a nice guy. I remember that skull. Yeah, it sold over the weekend for $150. But a pager, hold on. Yeah, actually, you're right. That's a little bitty fucking pager. Oh, okay. I just assumed it was a cassette player, like a Walkman. I see Samuel L. Jackson holding it. Oh my God, yeah, dude, that's all. And it's funny, these greebles right here, see, interchangeably, are very common-esque looking ones. I'm not gonna say they're the exact same ones. Very common in model kits, usually ships and war machines, stuff like that. And if we go to this one here, I don't know why I have that picture. And you go here, these are very, very common Molex style clips. I can't tell you how many things like this I have in my... I got a giant bin full of all these parts that we're going to be looking at. Big pieces of plastic and metal, all the way down to like little individual little pieces still on the card from a model kit. But I have tons of things that look just like this. Plastic, rubber. I always keep boards so I can use components like this. That's a capacitor right there. That's gold. That's visual interest personified. But I mean, you got an enter key and then a couple other keys here. This was some kind of a slotting son of a bitch. I mean, again, this is AI. So some of these parts may never have even existed. But I know exactly what these are. You know, or at least what they were going with these. I got tons of these too. So that's basically the idea of what we're going to be doing. We're going to be putting together a some kind of a communication device. Let me, yeah, fuck it. I'll keep the guitar in my hand. No, we'll be here all fucking afternoon if I don't just shut this off and put it away. Just look at my table. It's a nice table, right? Well, it used to be a nice table, and then I started doing my work on it. But all right, let's get you into the mood to donate to the Alzheimer's Association. Link down below. Never give me super chats for Alzheimer's. It'll never get there. It'll never get there. So this is the base I'm working with for right now. I'm actually going to go through my big bin of stuff and look and see if there's anything else. And like I had told you, I had one of those like little Mattel basketball games, but not true vintage. Just one of the ones that remained the last, 5-10 years or whatever, that you could find at any Cracker Barrel or whatever, or what have you. And as you can see, I've already altered it somewhat. I took it apart. This was actually the game board right here, the lights and the blinkies and the stuff. And I don't know if you can see that, but I soldered most of the pins together and left these two open. And when I hit it with power, this starts to freak out. I don't know how to make my power intermittent. My idea was to try to get all of it to light up and be able to salvage just one piece. But we may or may not be able to do that. We got other things that we can fuck around with. I'm just going to put that in a bin that you'll probably see here in a little bit. This board, we're probably not going to use for anything except for maybe parts. Now, mind you, okay, I know people are getting ready to fucking... What the fuck? That's a really cool Coleco boxing game, Chris. Well, it was. It was a really cool Coleco boxing game. Yes, I don't hold respect for a lot of these things, and if I saw something, I don't care how rare or expensive it is, and I think it'll suit my purposes better than as a video game or a toy, I'm going to cut into it. But we've already tried to repair this once, and it was still acting glitchy. And at that point, I just said, you know what? I'm not going to fuck with it anymore. I don't think it's worth it. I'm not going to do a recap or anything on here because there are no caps that I can see anyway. It's all resistors. Oh, no, there's a couple of little guys over here. But regardless, I chose that it was no longer going to be a functioning object, so I said I've been wanting to use this for something. And I think maybe that's why I requested it. In fact, I'm going to put that in that box. Pull this out. I may or may not be using this. I will absolutely sand this down. And I'm going to hit the whole thing with... You taking it off?
My room.
Oh, you're just... Okay. Enjoy your goldfishes.
I got my fishes.
Your fishes. All right, go. Go eat. Bye. I'm going to hit it with steel wool anyway to scuff it up to give it a little bit, less transparency. You can see through it right now. See? I also have cut a piece of styrene to the same shape. If I choose to block it off and just work upwards with just design or greebles or any of that crap. That's the Marvel Universe. Oh, okay. You're not talking about was Samuel L. Jackson in the Marvel stuff? I don't follow any of that. I just can't get into it. I don't know why. But yeah. I mean, there's like a little circle here, and you're going to see I have a light that I could use that will actually socket in here perfectly, and it has a built-in battery box. So, like, the form of this and the form of this are going to work together pretty fucking well. Good stuff. I've already knocked out the little buttons, and I'll show you the parts that came off of this first. And I've cut a piece of styrene to block this off. More than likely, what I'm going to do is it's going to be held like this will be the top. So the person will hold it like this. And I'm going to cut this cross member right here off and then grind these down and make this one window. And this is going to be another window of some sort. I don't know. And the controls are going to be like on the side and in the middle. And I just don't know what I'm going to do with the lights. And I might even add more to it. It's not really going to have any like true functionality of any sort other than the light is just going to go blinky and shit like that. So you start with an idea with something like this. Most people would draw their ideas up. I don't know. I just dump shit out and start fitting things. And a lot of times I just go. If my brain says, hey, just fucking do it. Even if there's no motive behind it and there's no like next step, I just do it. I just fucking do it. Like just cutting off the buttons that were here. They were shaped like little boxing gloves, but a slight little trim of some plastic, and now they look like maybe they could be, badges for some kind of a space captain or some shit. But they're definitely going to be reused on here somewhere, as well as the joysticks that used to be over here. So a lot of times I just go willy-nilly and just fucking start with doing things. This is everything that came in it. Again, the play field. Here, let me play around with this. I'll show you something. Now, I could get Arduino and then tell it to play around with this, but I'm not going to go that far. It's a free prop for this kid. And it's really just for fun. It's really just for fun. But I put a big blob of solder between, and left this middle one open. But I believe this side's ground. Hold on. So you can get it to, do its thing. Sometimes if you go like that, it'll. And I could just wire power to it, and that would look cool, too. And I very well may just do that. The problem is every other light doesn't need 9 volts, and this does. And I'm not going to, again, go through a whole series of whatever to make this one thing light up. So this might get saved for a rainy day, if you will. Something like that. For maybe another prop. Or maybe I need a prop that just has that kind of a look to it. With those weird character-looking fuckers. So, yeah, I don't know. These are the joysticks that were inside. These are the joysticks. Actually, you know what? That would fit right on a television fucking disc. Interesting. You know what? It's funny that I said that because I think I do. I have a thumb buddy right here that didn't cast up properly. And they are. Oh my God. They're maybe I'll cast up a bunch of these for you guys as in television. I won't feel as bad because it's not somebody else's idea. But I noticed that, if you just kind of maybe this side has one of these, and that's the talkie part. No, I said this is going to be the top. And put like a little spring in there, give it the idea of like okay, Jim, beam me up. I got the space hookers and cocaine, whatever it may be. Maybe they look cool this way. Maybe they're robot nipples. Regardless, I might actually, I got my television over there. I might see if this, actually, that's an idea that we're going to work with. It looks like a speaker, but it's just a thin piece of plastic. Like the same kind of plastic like your soda cup lid would have. The piezo actually attached to something that was underneath this, and it would touch to here. A piezo is literally, some people call it a buzzer. It's just a thin, I guess I didn't keep it. A thin piece of metal that goes, and they touch it to here, and that's what made the beeping noises for the little boxing game, So when you punch it, it's going beep, 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 beep. But this could look really cool here with a light underneath it, maybe spinning around, or repaint this to make it, put a couple of little things inside there. I mean, that's why I pull this stuff out. Because I'm a fat prick, I gotta do Trilicity once a week. I have a ton of these. And if you were around for when we were building the Atari 2600 flux capacitor, we got a couple of these on there. So this could be a number of things. I mean, I could put it in here, poking up. I mean, that right there alone has a really cool aesthetic. Or we could just put one there. Get rid of this thing and have like a light in there. Or maybe this is the microphone, Pull this piece out and then, you got a little deal in there and you're like, yes, let me up on the ship because I want to do ship things. Here are the boxing gloves that were the buttons here. Let's see. This part right here originally attached to this little side. And there was more plastic going up and around. So all I did was I trimmed it off of here and then cleaned up all the plastic. And it still kind of has a boxing glove shape. But these are going to look fucking cool. Just kind of, maybe 4 of them. Maybe like 4 of them. Whatever. Or on the side. Maybe I can put one on the side and wherever. Or somewhere in here. I have a round metal thing that would screw on here perfectly. Would give it kind of a 50s sci-fi look. But there's a battery compartment. And that's the other thing. There's a battery compartment here. So if I have to go 9 volts and then just put a capacitor between this and the lights that we're going to look at here in a second, then so be it. It already has a place for the battery. So why not utilize it? I mean, if you have to. So let me get these the fuck out of the way. Let me unplug this in case these two get connected. Put this away. So we'll leave that out because I'll show you what I'm talking about. So for lights, went to the Dollar Tree. If you're making anything prop-wise and it has to blink or beep or something like that, go the fucking Dollar Tree. Believe it or not, some of the $1.50 little light things, well worth your money. Well worth the money. So this is one of those little nighttime things. It's got like moons and shit. I don't know. It's supposed to help your kids sleep. It works pretty well, actually. I had it going last night, and the little stars and shit were on the wall. They didn't go up where I think they're supposed to go because they didn't put the dealios here. But it's always just a real simple assembly. Let me turn this off. Real simple assembly. A couple of connections for the battery, an on-off switch. In this case, no resistor. It's only, 3 volts going into that right now? Each battery is 1.5 volt. And I was talking about a little section where this would just slot right in. All I have to do is grind this right here down. And there's these 2 little clips that held down the whole speaker system. And you can't see it now, but it fits perfectly underneath there for me to go pop, pop. And it'll hold itself in place. All I'll have to do is literally grind out where the little round holes are, keep it nice and clean, and this already has a fucking battery box built into it. You know? Fucking A, man. So we got that. We also have, unfortunately I started taking it apart, but we got a little triangular LED thing, and that's going to be for the big light, you know, maybe whatever's in the middle of the screen or what have you. This one has a little resistor attached to it, but it's literally the exact same thing. A switch, couple of, you know, battery point contacts, in this case just one resistor, probably to step it down. I probably won't even have to use that resistor if I connect it to this circuit, because that's probably there because they have 3 batteries in this box. And a lot of times what happens with a lot of these imports is they just use whatever casing they have that week, regardless of what the voltage is. And if they realize that the voltage is going to be off, then they go from there. Because you can fry out LEDs really quick if you don't fucking play the game right. Let me put this away. Do I have another? I should have another battery here. Oh my God, it's an off-brand. It's an off-brand. I'll put that on there so you get the full effect. This one's called the disco light. Oh no. It's a disco light. Meet. It does all kinds of fun things, you know? So I figured stuffing that behind something that's you know, diffused a little bit. Kind of give it that little, you know, like R2 has like little weirdo lights. I actually thought about at one point, I don't know if you can see this, but it's prismed. I actually thought about trying to gently cut around one of the circles and then have this come up from below. So you can't really see, the, you know, the fuck-ups. And then have the light underneath it. But, you know, I mean, it's all these different colors, all these different patterns. I paid $1.50 for it. I can't control it. But I can make it look fun. And that's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. And as I build this, we will be doing it here on the channel. Today is just more me getting excited about it and talking about it and having an excuse to pull all these useless pieces of plastic out that I've been hoarding all this time to kind of just get an idea of what's going to happen here, you know? And some people have been begging for this thing called Creeps and Crafts. I can't remember who came up with the idea. But it was brilliant, so I've been going with it when I can. All right, let's get to the chat. Bears fan, what's up, brother? Let me go back. Oh, my God. I'm sorry, guys. Scrub it with Pat's head. Oh, my God. We don't have to go there. Because fuck that kid. Hi, I was in James' basement once or twice. I'm cool. Yo, bro, Bear says, everyone's saying hi to Bear. Dazzle's Doghouse. It's 15 minutes from Mom's. Yes! If there's a way that you can get me a picture of that sandwich. I've been back in Boston for 10 years. Oh. Italian beef and sausage combo with the hot and the sweet. Don't get a lot of the hot jar in there. Just a little bit in the bun. Put the beef in the fucking sausage in there, and then the sweet peppers on the top, and then have the au jus to dip it. Oh. Insert Homer Simpson drooling. Dazzle's Doghouse. And you know what? If you can remember, I doubt anyone there would probably remember or not, but just say, the Boston guy from Boomer's Sweet Home Chicago says hi. It's 50-50 if he remembers me or not. Bears fans saying hi to everyone. Everyone's saying hi to them, rightfully so, because Bears fans rad and everyone else is rad. Had to jump back in for updates. I joined late. What is this? We are building a prop for a small budget sci-fi movie, and I was originally going to finish making the mold for one of my business pieces, but my silicon didn't come in yesterday. It's going to be in today. So I have been tasked with making a communication style device or something that gets them through portals or something like that. So I'm actually just using this excuse to pour things out and pick things I think will go with it. Maybe get some, if you guys be like, dude, that would look great on there, by all means, please. I would love for this to be a collaborative fucking thing. I always forget which direction to go in with all this crap. But, yeah, we're just doing that from an old ColecoVision box and handheld LED game that no longer... Actually, this one was a VFD, wasn't it? I think it was, yeah. No, this one was LED. This one was LED. I see people saying hi to Alan. Where is he? There he is. Alan, what's going on, buddy? Thanks for popping in, man. Engineering at its finest. Yeah. So we got the lights. We got the things. Let's start looking at pieces that we could possibly use. You know what we're going to do? Hold on. Any good prop builder worth his fucking weight in anything has containers everywhere. So this is what I'm going to throw in the possible. We're going to possibly use that fucking thing. And the first box we're going to go through is this one here. This was a, obviously we're not going to use this giant fan with the motor and everything. I believe all this came out of, except for a string of LED lights from the Dollar Tree, this stuff came out of a microwave. Not this stuff. That came out of the actual game itself. Stuff like if you could see it, stuff like that. Remember earlier I showed you by just touching certain points on the game board, how it would light up? Same thing with this, but I want to save this for when I learn Arduino and I could tell it to actually count down and do stuff. This is actually the thing for the microwave, the beep, 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 But I also keep stuff like this because you can cut stuff like this off of these boards, and then you could attach them to objects to make them, feel a little bit more in reality. Plus, you have all these like pin connections, and I know a lot of you didn't get to see a close-up of the servo skull which sold this weekend. But I had a lot of stuff like this connected to it. And another little thing, and we were talking about earlier, I guess that doesn't go to that, I don't know. But finding what does go to it can be key sometimes to, again, selling the illusion of it being a real thing, I could just jam this on there, make it fit, but I don't know. I am not going to be using this entirely, but we could use some of these parts. There's like little stupid things like this that you could attach to it. Gold. Just a little flat piece of metal. Has no purpose. But you add something like this to a plastic prop. It gives it what they call visual interest. And will sell the illusion of it being something, real. I am absolutely keeping that. We should go old school. Make this look like a vacuum tube. This was the light for the inside of the... let's see if we can't... Will 9 volts get this going? No. Unfortunately not. But, yeah. Ooh, something like this could come in very useful, too. You could put like a little eye thing in there, and that light could be underneath there doing its thing. I'll absolutely hang on to that. Oh, look at this. Not that I would use it for this, but micro switches. You know what this could be used for? My, what do you call it? The
What word are you trying to figure out?
The synth. The synth. For the keyboard. So, hi. I really wish that you wouldn't be in here right now.
Alright, just wanted to offer some. I'll give you one now. Bye.
All right. And then, whatever the fuck this was. I have no idea what this is. It's probably a capacitor of some sort. Using it the wrong way. Yeah, it says it right there. HV capacitor. Don't go pulling your microwaves apart for parts if you're going to follow this, because there is one part in particular, and I can't remember what it's called. But if that breaks open, there's a material in there that's extremely dangerous. By itself, not a problem. And if you learn from a professional how to take it apart for scrap, then it can be safely handled, but don't fuck with it. Don't fuck with it. We'll go with this. I don't even know what's in here. I just know it's a bunch of mechanical looking parts. Oh, this is going to be gold. So my buddy Mike of Earmo Custom Models used to 3D print just like little Greeblies all the time. All the time. And I got a whole bag of these. What are they? Who knows? But they're both, you know, male and female, so to speak. So I got a whole ton of those that I could use to decorate and make some uniformity to it. You know what these are? I was going to do an AT-AT Walker helmet. And these are the, there's like these pieces that connect to a hose. And in reality what they were was a cartridge for a soda machine. What do you call it? A carbonation machine for you at home. But like a retro one, obviously. So instead of paying a ridiculous money for it, I just 3D printed one. I designed it myself, made it look approximately, yeah, so this is all the stuff I printed up for that helmet. That's where it's been. Well, I sold the helmet a long time ago. Yeah, I don't know. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to put all these 3D printed parts in here. More LEDs. This is a Dollar Tree lantern. We've made a couple of things out of these over the years. This is, so whenever you have like, do I have anything around here? Like Dremel pieces, all right? And it'll come in like a little thing. There'll be that real thin plastic holding everything together. This is the opposite of it with resin poured into it, and I just popped this out. So you can see this is where the small sanding drums used to go into. I actually used the other piece from that. Hold on. Right here on this blaster I'm working on. This is a blaster for my Mando kit I'm working on. But this was also created in that same mold. They were actually next to each other. It's not even a mold. It's just like a plastic thing. And since I have this out, Thumb Buddy television. And that was the wind handle that just fell out of it. But no, we're not gonna use that. This could be used. I'll put it there. This is absolutely going to be used. Some kind of a hose coupler. It's ribbed for her pleasure, so I'm good with that. I always try to... Here's a little button that we could probably use instead of the actual switch. And it has a really cool aesthetic. This is from a flashlight. Dollar Tree flashlight. And I'm just going to put this in there just because. Nothing else really in here. I mean, I suppose I could put that in there. You can't really see what that is, but came off of a Dollar Tree toy. No. And that could be useful. That could be useful. All right, let's put all this away. Oh, no, I want to put those in there. I want to put those in there. You paying attention, kids? Because there will be a fucking test. There will be a fucking test. Now, like I said, I got a gigantic... Oh, I want to get rid of this. A gigantic tub just full of this crap. Adrian says, I got a bolt. Duty calls. All right, my friend. Hopefully you'll hear me say bye. One must fine-tune the greebly eye, always scanning the edge of footpaths. Absolutely. I'm not even fucking joking. I'm not even joking. I bet you the kids could bring me one of my coats and there's something in each one of them. Kit Bash 100%. What's up, James? We were talking about you earlier. The reason I'm making this thing is through a friend of ours, a mutual friend of ours. Don't say anything. I don't know if they want anyone to know or anything, but they're going to be making a little sci-fi movie, and I'm going to be making like a communication device for them. Capacitors are also danger if not discharged. Yes. And what I do is I cut their leads off completely, and I'll usually use a hot glue to set them somewhere before I secure them to what it's going to be. So that way There's no chance unless you try to purposefully break the fucking thing. But you are correct about capacitors. At work, we mold current soda machine parts. Okay, nice. Violation says kit bash. That's right, James. You work in injected plastic. That's what you do. You do the voodoo that he do the poo-poo. I gotta keep that in the fucking frame at all times, don't I? Don't I? All right. So we'll start with this little doohickey here. This little. I'm telling you, I got a ton of these little fucking things, man. A ton of these things. Look at it. Yeah. Hold on. Arrgh! I got me the pink eye. I don't know why I did that like a pirate. Got me the pink eye. Alright, what kind of handy dandy little fuckers do we have in... Oh, look at this. This is a nice little detail. Right? That could actually go like right here in the corner and be part of the actual antenna system. You can't see that. You know, with a little bit of cutting, of course, and making it a little bit more flush. That could be part of the antenna system. You know, a couple little things poking out this way, cut these nipples off. Oh, yeah, no, this absolutely is in the keep bin. Maybe not so much. Dollar Tree used to sell a toy line called Final Faction. I got tons of them. And they had little accessory packs. And those were always great for Greebles. This is from a Transformer. I don't remember what one, but I've been cutting it apart for years for parts. That's going in there. This is like a little mini version of, we were talking about them a couple of weeks ago. Viewmaster. I actually think it was part of a flashlight thing, but that could be interesting, right? You know, for the lights to be blinking underneath. Actually, you know what? We could put it right there. Cut this open just a little bit more. All right, yeah. So this is a piece that could absolutely be used, considering what we have for lighting. That would be perfect. These are caps to, I don't know if you have dispensaries in your area, but if you just buy a roller, it comes in a little tube with these caps. The inside of these caps are really interesting looking. Fuck, you're not going to be able to see it. So I keep them around. I got a whole bunch of them. What? All right. Can I finish my damn stream without you? I know you're home, but just give me the hour and a half. I gotta fuck off. So I'm going to hang on to these just in case, because I really think that those could be used. This is cool. Oh, I almost lost it. I just caught that. You didn't see it, but I did. This is actually a rim tool. What? Did you really need to stop and... What do you got now? Are you still eating?
Yeah.
What is that?
Chocolate. Caramella.
All right, I never got my bite. You were supposed to put it on a napkin for me. All right, so going back to what this is. Space 1999. They had a bunch of model kits. And there was one to a vehicle, which I'm actually turning into a spaceship, and it's over there. That's like a little moon rover thing. It never appeared in the show, but they made all these kits. I think that same kit was made for a number of different, styles or whatever. But this is one of the rear rims. That's absolutely perfect to go on here. If anything, just to put like a little spiky thing in the middle. Absolutely. Absolutely. If you see something, tell me to stop. More of the Transformer parts, absolutely going to go in there. This will bring visual interest to the height. Okay, that went too far over. I'm not going to try to get that. We could always just hide this in there. The rest of it is just like little pieces I cut off of an old G.I. Joe helicopter. I'll just try to keep, remember. Oh. These will come in handy, I'm sure. But like I said, we'll build this slowly over time on here. And of course, I'll be doing little videos on my TikTok as well. But these were like hella lights on the top of like a Jeep or something like that. But again, Final Faction. Just, it's their shape, really. In fact, I know we keep going back to this little hole. But I got to fill one of them with something at the very least. So, if I just do something like that, it could be like a, hey, Hal, you know? But we're not done with this box, kid. We're not done with this. Oh, you want to see something fun? You remember when I went to school last year and I ended in March? This was my final test. This was my final test. Now, you'll notice there are components missing because they went onto the servo skull, like these two capacitors. But I did every fucking component on here. Oh, except for these two. I did the J-leads. Yeah, I did all of them except for these two. I'm going to show you the back. Yeah. So this was my test to graduate. My physical test, anyway. You know, little details like this could go really well right here. You know, with now starting to combine pieces that were already on here. You know, cut a hole in here. I don't know. I mean, you never know. This box is about this big. This box is about this big. I know so many of you are fucking tuned out by now. So many of you are like, really? He's just going to show us broken pieces of plastic? Aw, thank you. These are great. These are from components from school. You know, when we had like little chips and stuff, they'd be on a roll. And they would pop out of these things. And every time someone would throw a strip of these away, I grabbed a handful of them. I was like, no, give those to me. Give those to me. Hold on, where are the smaller ones? I had a whole bunch of smaller ones, too. They look great on the side of tanks. Alright, well, here's a short strip. I am absolutely going to put these on there. Like, here's a smaller one. These had, like, little ICs on them. You know, they would be inside there. They would just pop right out. What a great aesthetic, right? And it was free. It was free. I got plenty of this little straw tubing stuff. Great for like pipes and stuff, you know, paint it up, make it look like brass or what have you. You know, maybe there was this one picture we were looking at that had like pipes going into here, right? So we will definitely revisit these. I'm not going to keep those now. But, there's one specific thing I'm looking for that I don't think is in this box, but I also have a lot of gears and stuff. A lot of stuff like this. I don't know if it will be valuable or not. This is the seat to a remote control boat that I cut apart for other things. Here's just a weird jagged shaped object that could look in between a couple of deals, you know, like it's connecting a couple of, like it's some kind of a weird space conduit. You know, like little round fucking things like this. I don't even know where this came from. Oh, I do. The Transformer. The Transformer. I cut that fucker up. This is from a model kit. Little chrome pieces, you know. Oh, I think I found my antennas. I found my antennas right here with this stuff right here. There's two of them. Delicate as fuck, but you know what? What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Oh, you know what's in here? This box I have now. Can anyone tell me what this was from? What build this was from? What Million Macabre in the playlist this was from? It's in the other room. We got to revisit that. So, you know, of course, there's stuff like this that could be useful. You know, something like this, maybe, and it fits perfectly. Maybe this will be here to kind of, actually, that's not fucking bad looking. It could even be sideways, you know, and there could be things sticking out here as part of like the, you know, beep, 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 or whatever, sliding. I don't know. That's absolutely going in there. So, let me put this away. This is a missile from a Star Wars toy of sorts. That could be an antenna as well. So, and if none of this really does anything for me, here's another thing. Here's another thing. You know what this is? Sweet baby rays. When you're done with your fucking, squirting your goop all over your meats. This is what the goop comes out of. I pop them. In fact, I know there's one on the floor right here that I dropped 2 or 3 days ago. It was over here on the floor, next to a notebook that I have for notes. So I'll put that there. You never know. You never know. And the rest of this I'll probably just put away for now. I don't draw things up. I never have. I don't think I ever will. Once in a while I'll come up with a basic sketch. Excuse me while I eat my Cadbury chocolate. There we go. What do we got? I'm curious. Okay, so there's only 4 people in here today. Which means there's really only 3 because my alt account is also in here. The creepy crawl. But I didn't think people would hang out for this one too much. Again, I was anticipating finishing the skull mound mold. I only have 1 more layer of fucking silicone. And then I get to break free the little dam that's holding in the block of the silicone, because there's a couple of undercuts I need to get in there, so I have to, and I'll put it up on an easel so I can keep it at a specific angle. We'll get that going. But yeah, guys, that's how you do it, man. You just grab something, you just start cutting, start sanding, and start gluing. And even if it doesn't look right now, just trust the process. I also have tons of these sheets of styrene. Oh, I don't have this on anymore. These sheets of styrene in multiple thicknesses. This is a really thick one. But, that's what your mom said. You know, I use up that stuff a lot. I worked for a place called Artisan Craftsman Supply, and we had tons of it. And then when they started closing down, I went up there and gobbled it all up. Because I'd rather support that local place, even though they were closing, than fucking Amazon or anything like that. But let's see what we got here. Browsing the church just for some cool caps. Right on, man. I got over my stuff once or twice a year. Capacitors are also dangerous. Not discharged. Yep. At work, we mold current soda. Okay, so I'm already caught up here. Kit bash and pastry. Steak and cheese Star Destroyer. Dude, I've been craving what we call a steak bomb here in Boston. What is a steak bomb? I'm glad you asked. It's a cheesesteak finely shredded up, right? And if you do it proper, you chop up some salami and put it in there. Some people layer the full salami slices underneath. But what you got to do is you got to make a steak and cheese with peppers and onions and mushrooms. And then you throw in the salami, you mix it around, you put a bunch of cheese in it. Depending on where you go, some places do American, some places do mozzarella, some places even do provolone. I prefer it with American cheese. Go fuck yourself if you don't like that. I think it's yummy. Especially when they use a steak that's chunkier. Some places will do that. They'll just chop up a steak. And I never got it, but if they mix in the hot peppers right, we have these things here called hots. It's like a pepper relish. Fucking wicked good. Think of the sprinkle hot peppers that you get at the pizza shop, but in oil. It's the same idea. It's pickled too. It's pickled too. But to get it proper here, you have to say hots, H-O-T-S. Let me get a steak bomb with extra hots. You know, that has to be mixed in there with it. And then you let it, you get the extra cheese, and then you let it cool off. And then you got a big block of cheese with meat and hot peppers. It's really good. But the steak bomb is a steak, egg, and cheese, or steak and cheese with onions, peppers, mushrooms, and some salami. A little salt and pepper, hot peppers, and you are you are good to go. I fucking love a good steak bomb. In fact, I may go down to this place down the street called Patron's and eat one there. I'll see if one of the kids want to go with me. They like Patron's. Their pizza's garbage. Their pizza tastes like the sauce is made out of tomatoes and sugar. That's it. Tomatoes, sugar, and broken hopes and dreams. And the thing that sucks about that is the old man that started it back when I was in school. Retired. And he sold it off to another family. And even though in the contract they're keeping everything the same, they're slowly changing things. And rightfully, I mean, if they want to do their own thing, that's fine. You could argue all day long that they should just open up their own restaurant instead of buying into an already established one in the community. But my town is starting to get more and more. Ooh, you know what? This piece right here. That's what should go on the top for the microphone or the antenna. That's exactly the right piece. See? You see? I'm not even questioning it. I'm just going to cut it off the fucking tree. I'm going to leave as much material as possible because I don't know how much I'll actually use. And there we go. Now it could be sticking out of here or something, or... I could grind out some of this lip because there is it's proud. I could put it in there. Hell, it'll even slot in that little gap. Oh, and I just broke the side. Oh, no. Oh, no. I'm going to have to glue that back down. I kind of just bent this little piece here. But yeah, no, that's. In fact, I'm going to put that in the definite bin. The definite bin. See, we just made a decision together, boys and girls. Isn't that fucking wonderful? So, with that, I want to thank everybody who did hang out with me today. Again, I know this isn't like... I don't know if I made it sound like we were actually going to build something. I'm pretty sure I used the word design. What the fuck? I don't know. I'll worry about this later. But... I'm glad you guys hung out, and I hope you learned something. But we will be working on this here periodically throughout however long. And if you wish to follow me on my TikTok, it's Milieu Macabre, Milieu Macabre. Or you can just look for my playlist down there and just copy the word. I'm not asking you to come over there because I know a lot of people hate TikTok, and I did too. TikTok. But I was told about the rad artist community that's over there, the toy community. And I worked very hard for like 6 months to fuck with the algorithm to get just what I'm looking for. And I hardly ever get any of the stupidity now. It's awesome. But yeah, this is, if you guys are ever wondering, this is my, Potion Sword Run, I think, just recently got one of these. And I'm like, I have the same motherfucker. This is what I use for when I'm like, hey guys, when we're out and about, or the webcam is on this, the external webcam. Let's see. Sounds amazing. I need to come visit and try one. I mean, you can make it, or I'm pretty sure there's plenty of folks down there, bro, that have cheesesteak. Just ask for what I just asked you for. You'll be like, I know it's going to be weird, but then Boston guys know what's going on, You know what I mean? And you just tell them, let me get a steak and cheese, or a cheesesteak, depending on where you are. Ask them to put peppers, onions, and mushrooms. And chop up a little salami and throw it in there. You're good to go. And if you choose the hot peppers or not, that's on you. I don't know what they got down there. The closest thing to it would be jardiniere. But that's a lot thicker. It's a lot thicker chunks of the celery and the peppers and the oil and all that. But I'm going to let you guys go. Because we've been going for a little while now. And I'm probably going to leave this alone for the day. Just to let everything that we've picked here kind of melt. And come up with some ideas. Hell, I might even put it in ChatGPT and say, hey, turn this into a communication device. And just kind of look at that, look for like little details that I might be able to incorporate. Sometimes you'll find a detail you like, but you don't like where they put it. So now you can aspire to create your own version of that, not an exact copy, because you don't have exactly what they're putting it together with, And it's really just a kind of a puzzle at this point. What's going to go where, and how am I going to do this? But I really appreciate people hanging out for these kind of streams. Whether it's 4 years or 400 years, I don't give a shit. I just love talking about this, and we used to do a lot more. Trust me, ask some of the old school cats that used to be around here. We used to do a lot of live stream building things and molding things, and I would do videos like God, I think like under $5 fucking easy props to make, painting techniques and shit like that. And I really want to get back into that. That was like a good third of my channel, if not a little bit more. But let me make sure I'm good on the chat here. The design a sci-fi movie prop sounds fine to me. Cool. Thank you. Oh, I couldn't remember if I said let's build or let's design. That was really the problem, Megan. Bad brains, kid. Bad brains. And here's how bad a brain I have. When you said to me in what's-his-name's chat yesterday, Casey's chat, hey, or maybe it was DJC's, I don't remember whose. See? I uploaded that song. I was like, fuck yeah! But in my mind, I was like, oh no, what is she talking about? Seriously, I got memory issues. So from getting hit in the melon a little too much between working in corrections and growing up, where I grew up. But I hope you all have a wonderful afternoon. We'll be back tomorrow about 1-ish again. Hopefully, well, I don't know if there's going to be any reptile haunt stuff tomorrow because I want to get it done. It should have been done a week ago, but I ran out of the material, and I sold something this weekend, art. So I put it back into that. But either way, we'll come up with something tomorrow. Maybe we'll continue playing some Master System games. Maybe we'll play some Atari. Maybe I'll just play with myself, and you guys will make fun of me. Either way, wherever in the world you are, I hope you're doing well. I hope that didn't fuck up your lunch. Until next time, take care, creep it real. Oh, and Megan, by the way, that video was fucking awesome. That was wicked fucking awesome.